Hi, my name's Lloyd Thom, and today as your home barista, we're going to go through how to make a stovetop or Moka Pot coffee. So this is one of the classic icons in the world of coffee. And I have to admit, to my shame, even though I've been working in coffee for over 10 years, it's only really been in the last 2 years that I've probably come to appreciate exactly why this coffee brewer is such an icon. I think its elegance really comes with its simplicity. And also the fact that you're not using any other paper filters. So it's really a very environmentally sustainable way of brewing coffee as well, which is really cool. So the device itself is pretty simple. We have our top brewing chamber where the coffee will come up through the filter at the base, and it does that via a vacuum seal. The coffee gets placed in the brewing chamber in the center, and we add our water into the chamber at the base. So there's a lot of different ways that you can do this. You could grind your coffee, assemble it all together, put it on the stovetop, set and forget, and you'd get a pretty passable cup of coffee. But by leaving the coffee in contact with the water for so long, you potentially risk getting some over-extracted flavors. So the technique I'm going to go with you today is about minimizing those flavors. And ultimately what we're going to end up with is a drink that's not exactly as thick and concentrated and syrupy as an espresso, but nor so watery and tea-like as you might find with a filter. Stovetop is really in a category all on its own, somewhere right in between those two. So you could do this with boiling water from the kettle, which would make it even quicker. Otherwise, fill up your base chamber with cool, clean, filtered water. And you want to make sure when you're pouring in that it doesn't go above the safety valve there. Once you've got that, we can put it straight on our stovetop. So it's fine to start off with the temperature pretty hot, so we get the water up to temperature. But once we start brewing, then we're going to want to reduce that down to medium. So once your water is hot, boiling and ready to go, or even before that, it's a good time to prepare and grind your coffee if you haven't done so already, or if you're using pre-ground. So I mean, the great thing about stovetop, it's pretty easy and pretty forgiving if you're not using a set of scales. Sometimes I do at home, and if for using this size stovetop, I would probably end up using about 20 to 23 grams of coffee, and I put in about 150 mils of water if you're measuring that at home. But otherwise, yeah, you can use just the size of the coffee basket, just making sure that the coffee, once tapped, doesn't sit above the rim of the basket. Great, so you don't want to press down, you don't want to play around with this too much. Just a gentle tap along the side so the coffee sits level is pretty much all you need to do. If you press down, it's really going to slow the extraction. That's something you want to avoid. So you place your basket into your brewer and reduce the heat. From here, you use the top of the chamber, twisting it on till it's grabbed. And then you'll need to use a tea towel on the base because it's quite hot as you press and seal it in. You do really need to seal it in order for that vacuum to work. So making sure you're on that medium heat, you place the stovetop back over the heat. I like to open it up and have a look, because as soon as we start to see that extraction finish, we want to take it off the heat, rinse it under some cool water, which is going to limit that extraction. And again, that's going to help us avoid any kind of unwanted flavors that we might get with over extraction if we let it sit there for too long. When you watch it first come out, you'll notice it's rich and syrupy, dark brown. These are things that we really want to see. It will get faster, slightly more golden brown in color. And once it starts to bubble, take it off and then rinse the brewer immediately on the base, and that's going to help stop that extraction. So from here, you can add some extra hot water to make more of a long black Americano style. Otherwise, you could even heat some milk also on the stove, and using a plunger or an AeroPress, you can froth up your own milk, making somewhat of a homemade latte, which is really nice. Otherwise, just grab yourself a cup, pour it out, give it a few seconds to cool down, but then that's pretty much ready to go. This size stovetop should make even enough to share between two, or even one just for yourself. But either way, enjoy.